Meet a young man who loves to read. But before Corinthian Worley got to this point in his life where he devours words, he went through some things.
I landed in prison for selling cocaine.
Worley was released after spending almost 3 years behind bars. He says he was determined to take a different path and was looking forward to better days. But he knew that having a conviction would haunt him.
I know I would probably still deal with it, like as far as trying to get a job and stuff, things of that nature.
Advocates for people and families impacted by incarceration say unemployment is one of the biggest reasons people recommit crimes and are sent back to prison. Some job applications for the private sector ask about convictions. Getting past checking this box and landing a job has been difficult for some who served time.
Well, it matters because we're all human and we all exist on this world, on this planet, like to do, better for and with each other. That's not a business response, right? Businesses should do it because it affects their bottom line.
Patrice Funderburg is the executive director of the nonprofit, the Center for Community Transitions, which focuses on families and individuals who were in prison. One of its programs helps individuals with convictions get jobs.
It is the social stigma of being in jail or prison that creates not so much the barrier that we're aware of the person who experienced that justice conviction, but on the employment side, not understanding how to implement processes along the employment life cycle that can account for that.
So we started out this morning, you told me about yourself, we're starting to have a conversation, developing a relationship.
These students in this class were once incarcerated. They're learning about job interviews.
Thank you so much for coming in.
We provide the tools and resources and support for that individual to take the steps that are led by that individual to accomplish their goals.
Advocates say getting people with convictions ready for work is just one part of the equation. Advocates say employers and their hiring process need to re-examine how they're looking at applicants.
Most companies today have, stood up for ban the box as a condition of employment. They don't ask the conviction question until a conditional verbal offer of employment has been extended.
Funderburg says even if company executives believe in giving second chances, that message isn't always filtered down through the hiring process.
If the background check vendor is not a part of the development of that second chance process, then that person is going to get flagged out, right? If the HR business partner or the recruiter or the talent acquisition person within the company doesn't have an understanding of the probability of that happening, then the person who has the justice involvement is only going to get an email to say, thanks for interviewing with us. After completion of your background check, we're not going to move forward with you.
Genpak, a food packaging manufacturer, started hiring workers with records. When the pandemic forced restaurants to close dining areas, takeout orders kept food service businesses afloat. That meant an even greater demand for Genpak's food packaging. While they worked to keep up with orders, the company had to find more workers.
Because the workers out there today, they have a lot of choice. Companies like us are desperate. We'd like to hire more and more people so we can improve our utilization rates. But, we're weathering it. It's been difficult.
Kevin Kelly, president of Genpak, says he told his recruiters to think outside the box. It used to be that they had a lot of people walking in and applying for jobs.
What we do is as soon as they walk in the door, we get them into either a kiosk. We also have tablets at all of our locations as well, and they're able to go in and put in an online application immediately.
In 2020, with job applications from walk-ins slowing, Genpak executives widened their search for applicants.
We've had such a close working relationship with the Economic Division of Mecklenburg County, and when they mentioned this as a possibility to sort of link us with some programs, We didn't hesitate one bit, and I think I said it in passing, hey, I think we're going to become a second chance employer.
Patrick Rory, who is the corporate training manager, says so far they've hired about 50 people who were formerly incarcerated.
We take a look at every single background screening that comes to us just to see what it is.
Rory says during Genpak's job interviews, he's noticing that some of the applicants who have a conviction are upfront about their record.
They actually are taught how to market and brand themselves. So they come right to us in the interview. Though they were not required to do so, they come right out to us and say, this is what I did, this is what I learned from it.
We come back to the adage that, you know, these folks, a lot of them haven't had that chance, and we feel like that's a vital thing, and it certainly serves our needs if we can give somebody that opportunity and they can build a career with us.
Worley took the classes that the Center for Community Transitions teaches. He has earned different certificates, ready to join the workforce. He says he heard back from a few jobs.
I feel a lot better. I feel a lot calmer, peaceful, just motivated, ambitious, the same, ain't nothing changed. It's actually got me a little bit, it added fuel to how I'm already feeling as far as what I want to do with my life.
Now on the path he visualized and mentally prepared for. For Carolina Impact, I'm Colleen Harry.
We hope you enjoyed the story. If you don't want to miss any more great stories about the Charlotte region, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.